everyone, today's video is another watch me paint. A few months ago, I'm not sure how many months, quite a few months now I think, I did a Pikachu, and today I thought I would do a Squirtle to see if I've improved upon my character painting techniques since doing Pikachu. So I started out with a pale grey base, almost white, but you could use a white base if you wanted to. Then I mixed like a bluey colour and a minty green colour to try and make Squirtle's skin colour. I think in the end mine is a little bit too blue and maybe I needed a bit more green, but you get the idea of who he is. So I started by mapping out an arm, a leg, a tail, a head, a body. Obviously I couldn't fit his whole body on there, otherwise he would have been very small and it would have been like near impossible to paint the details in. I do feel as though I made his head a tiny bit small in proportion to his body, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being a bit picky. Anyway, after outlining his body, I filled him in with that blue colour. Well, not all of him, because his belly isn't bluey green. It isn't this colour, so I just filled in the areas that are bluey green. And throughout this entire video I am either flash curing for 5 seconds between colours or doing a full 30-second cure. I'm really in and out of the light a lot, but obviously I cut that out because that's boring to watch. I went in with a yellow for his tummy. I was lucky that I had a colour that was pretty close to his tummy, so I didn't have to mix one up, but you can of course mix up a colour. And I just filled that in with just the flat yellow colour in his entire undershell area. Then I took a little bit of brown and mixed it with that yellow and got it on my phone screen for these shadows that are on his belly, just under his chin, I guess, and under his like belly, to make it more three-dimensional rather than just a flat image. This is why I like to go through Google Images and find an image that I think looks easy to transfer into an L. You don't want something that's too detailed. Well, you can have something super detailed if you are feeling adventurous, but I never am. So I try and find one that is fairly simple. So I'm taking quite a warm orangey brown for his shell. There's not a lot of his shell showing in this picture. Then I'm taking a pale bluey grey colour for the edge of his shell. And again, there's not that much of that, but you gotta put it in there. I think here I'm just going over the blue areas to make sure that they have good opacity. This video is very, very, very sped up, but it took me I had about 40 minutes of footage, so I imagine somewhere close to an hour to actually do this now. I'm taking a dusty rose colour for his mouth, and I'm doing the entire shape in pink, and then I'm going to go back in with black to perfect the shape. I'm taking just a white gel polish to do his eyes. They are kind of oval with a flat bottom. So after I cured the eyes, I did go in with blue just to kind of fix up so that they were an oval with a flat bottom. I'm taking my black gel paint and just outlining the eyes and the mouth. Excuse me. Giving him his pupils or irises. I'm not entirely sure what this part is. And like I said, I flash cure as I go, because once you're happy with a part, flash cure it or fully cure it so that if you mess up with something else, you can easily wipe it off without ruining the entire design. So then I'm outlining the rest of his body. Whenever I'm outlining like a circular object, I like to kind of break it down into quarters, so I'm not having to do a fluid motion around the entire circle. I'm doing quarter curved sections, if that makes sense. I'm basically now outlining his entire body, putting in his little hand thing. I'm not super happy with this hand. I don't know if it was just out of proportion or there's something wrong with his hand, but at this point I had been painting for a while and I was kind of, I don't know, ready to finish the nail. So I flash cured the outline, and then I'm putting in the details on his shell back and his shell belly. Is that the correct terms? I do not know. So here I messed up the line a little bit, so I took my silicone tool and kind of scraped off the polish, which is why I love gel. So I think at this point I'm putting a little bit of blue in there. I think he had a little bit of colour to his eyes. And then I put little white dots. I'm not sure if they're reflections or, yeah, they're just in his eye. And then I used my black to make sure that there wasn't too much white. Oh, he had brown eyes, I think. I don't even remember what I did. I'm doing the voiceover a little while after a few weeks actually after I painted this nail. So I'm going in with the background color and just fixing up anywhere that I went out of the lines, or anywhere that the background color wasn't really opaque, because I did only do one coat of the background color. So I'm taking like a very dark grey blue and mixing that with my original Squirtle color to add some shading to the blue areas. And again, this is where the reference picture comes in handy, because you can just add the shading where the shading is in the picture. And I took some pure white, or just, you know, straight white, and put a few highlights onto the shell edge. So here I'm just blending together. I think his head is a bit small, but I did my final cure and then I added a top coat, and that was Squirtle all done. So I think if you look at the two, you can see that my outlining is a lot finer than in the original Pikachu. I don't know, I still like Pikachu, but I think Squirtle is an improvement. I also wanted to show you the mess that I make on my table when I'm mixing colours and everything. There's plenty of room for improvement in my Squirtle nail, but I think looking at the Pikachu and the Squirtle well, they're not next to each other, but looking at both of them, you can see improvements. I'm not sure if in the Pikachu video if I used a black gel paint or a black gel polish to outline, but I think I'm improving, and it's always good to go back and do, if not the same design, but, you know, a similar design to something that you did either months or years ago, and just see how far you have come, because sometimes you feel like you haven't really improved, but if you actually go back and look, you probably have. Anyway, I'm getting onto a bit of a ramble now, so thank you for watching, and I'm sorry this isn't a Christmas video, but I'm just far too busy to film any Christmas videos right now. Hopefully I'll find time to make one for next week's video. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.